gone global with our first project in the United Kingdom and a presence in France, thanks to the French government and the La French Tech program. With the smart cities kicking in 2018, we had done 25 plus projects and had executed more than 8 smart cities for environmental health monitoring. From 2018 to 2019, our projects doubled and our presence grew by fourfold. We had done more than 50 projects and had a strong presence in 25 plus countries. From 2019 to 2020, right before the pandemic and before all of us could get locked down in our homes, we had done 700 deployments and we were present in more than 40 countries. Post pandemic, when all of us were locked indoors and the world changed in a sudden shift, we decided to take a step back and get into capability building and of course increase our geographical reach. So as we speak today, we have 1,000 plus deployments in more than 47 countries through a strong partner network of more than 80 partners across the globe. But why did we start this? I mean, what was the essence of the problem? What was this reason that made us start this? And that was air pollution as a problem. It is a shocking fact that pollution kills more people than AIDS, TB, and malaria combined. I mean, 9 out of 10 people in the world breathe polluted air. And in countries like India, air quality is the 5th largest killer. So the problem is pretty evident, and yet, not a lot was being done about it. And that was primarily because there was a huge data vacuum when it comes to environmental data. And that is essentially because present solutions were expensive, complicated, and human intensive, which left the entire market fragmented, and there were no end-to-end solutions available. So when we started, we had a very strong focus that instead of being a jack of all trades, we wanted to be a master of one, and that is we wanted to get into the space of indicative ambient environmental monitoring. We are currently focused on air and noise monitoring for the ambient spaces. With our existing flagship products, we of course were doing a lot of monitoring, but now with the launch of AQBot, we are also getting into the space of alarm and detection as well through our new products. Let's look at our existing products, the flagship products, which all of you I'm sure must be aware about or must have seen at one place or the other. We have 4 flagship products currently, which is the Polydrone, OdoSense, Dustroid, and WeatherCom. Polydrone is your ambient air pollution monitoring system, which measures all the ambient parameters, whereas OdoSense is focused on odorful and toxic gases. The Dustroid was designed specifically for particulate matter detection and monitoring, whereas the WeatherCom is your automatic weather station. The WeatherCom has this unique capability that, of course, it is an independent weather station, but it can also be integrated with any of our existing flagship products. The data from this goes to the Oizom IoT data platform, from where it can be accessed and visualized on our Oizom data platform or through various accessibility platforms. These are the major geographies and the business applications that we cover. So we've decided to break it into 2 major business applications. One is urban applications. When I talk about urban applications, I'm majorly focusing on smart cities, campuses, airports, roadways, highways, tunnels. And when we talk about industrial applications, we work collectively with environmental solution providers for monitoring around wastewater treatment plants, solid waste facilities, dust separation automation at mines, ports, quarries, and of course, industrial fence line monitoring as well. Through these various use cases, we are currently present in 1,000 locations, monitoring the environmental health of more than 23 million people worldwide across the globe, and this all in just a span of 6.5 years. Let's look at some of the key mega projects that we have done. So this, as you can see on your screen, there are all from varied applications and use cases, starting with Dangote Cement in Ethiopia. This was done for a cement manufacturer in Ethiopia and one of the largest cement manufacturing facilities in Africa, where they've deployed 4 stations of Polydrone and 4 stations of Dustroid for employee health and safety, and of course the surrounding areas where this manufacturing happens. We take great pride in mentioning that we monitor the home of Taj Mahal. Yes, in fact, we have 6 stations that are deployed in the periphery of the Taj Mahal. And in addition to that, 39 stations all across the city of Agra, where the city is using the data for data-driven management and planning. Airports have always been notorious when it comes to air quality. We always land at this place and there's so many flights going on, so much emissions, but getting to the root of problem is very important. And that is why we monitor King Khalid International Airport in Saudi Arabia using 13 pollution monitoring and meteorological parameters, where this data is used for environmental analysis and penalties for airlines, as well as to inform the systems and the authorities in case of a dust storm or a sandstorm and take preemptive actions beforehand. Wastewater treatment plants have always been very much known for the odor nuisance that they create, especially hydrogen sulfide, one of the biggest pollutants out there. This is one project that we did in the city of Sanford in North Carolina, the US, where we tried to automate a wastewater treatment plant where the hydrogen sulfide neutralizers would turn on whenever a threshold is crossed. However, I've always emphasized this, and I cannot emphasize enough. If your monitoring systems are not accurate, don't have them. I mean, it's useless if it's not accurate. And that is why we've been very much focused on offering accurate environmental data. All the systems that are dispatched from the Oizom facility go through an extensive calibration process in an ISO IEC 17025 certified environmental laboratory, which is stationed in Attira. For our partners and clients who do not know how well reputed Attira is, Attira was founded by the late Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, who is also the founding father of the Indian Space Research Organization. So now you understand how reputed this research organization stands for. Every unit that is shipped out of the Oizom facility goes through an extensive 3-level calibration process. First is, of course, the factory calibration, where we try and check each and every sensor and know that they're giving the perfect readings. But what happens when you combine multiple sensors in a single enclosure? After that, we do a multi-span calibration using known concentration of SI traceable gases, where the gases are passed through the system and any kind of cross-sensitivity compensation correction algorithms are applied before they're dispatched. And each and every unit that goes out of the Oizom facility has its own calibration certificate that comes with it. And because of our calibration activities, high data accuracy, we've been able to grow exponentially all across the globe. As you can see very evidently on the world map here, we are present almost everywhere, from down south, from in the land of Kiwis. I saw Leon already there. Hi, Leon. Nice to meet you. To all the way top north in Canada, to Finland, to Chile. We are everywhere. The next slide is like the most important slide for me personally, and I think that is the reason that motivates me to wake up every morning and work a bit harder. The idea was to create a closed loop system. That was the vision of the company, that of course pollution is a problem, we monitor the data, but then what do you do about it? So let me explain this in detail through a graphical presentation that you see on the screen. Through our existing flagship products like Polydrop, for urban applications, we were able to monitor and gather the data, identify the sources, and prioritize what are the major sources of pollution. So let's say, for instance, it's a city. You could identify what are the major causes of pollution in that city. Say, for instance, high amounts of traffic. This would generate automated KPIs for your traffic and regulatory departments. And based on that, they could take various actions like regulate the traffic lights or long-term infrastructure policy level changes like having overbreach or an underbreach. And based on that, you could measure the KPI and see if it has had impact on the environment or not. A similar approach was needed for industrial applications as well, where we focus on data enabling automations in industries, threshold-based triggers which can be automated and regulated to mitigate the problems. However, for this, we needed an industrial monitoring solutions. So we did the first thing that we wanted was to focus on industrial monitoring market. But for that, we reached out to our partners. And I think one thing that I heard from most of our partners was, Jainam, it's already a crowded market. There's so many players out there. So we decided to do our own market research. We looked into multiple industrial monitors and compared them side by side. And I realized that none of them offered a wide range of wired and wireless communications. A communication protocol, communication system that would, of course, cater to the current scenario, but also equip them for the upcoming and the ongoing Industrial 4.0, Industrial IoT. Not a single system, in fact, was independent of the manufacturer. This has been a common problem where things like maintenance, sensor replacement, even calibration was not possible on site. And very few systems offered inbuilt capabilities to trigger alerts and alarms, as well as automate third-party systems. And that's why we decided to work on an industrial grade solution which solves all these problems and offer a holistic solution. And with this, I invite Ayan to take forward, show us the AQBot and officially launch AQBot. Over to you, Ayan.
Hey, thanks, Janam. This is such an exciting thing to be part of this product launch, and I'm so excited to show you the product today. Janam, thank you so much for introducing to the new people who have joined us of about Oizom. I'm sure a lot of you would know us and the flagship products that you have used, but yes, just to begin or to start from where Janam was explaining, I think that was very important as to why we always wanted AQBot as a product to come into our flagship thing. So before I go on and showcase the product itself, I just want to take a few moments and talk to you about the different benefits that the users would get when you have AQBot with you. So as Janam correctly mentioned, that the motivation was definitely there, and it became a key point for us to build this product. But we just didn't want to build any product. We wanted to build one for the industry and keeping in mind the industry 4.0. So to begin with, the first thing that was in our mind was the robustness of the product. And not only that, we also focused on easy installations and making it a hassle-free and independent of any skilled technician to go on any location and mount it. Quick sensing was always a primary concern, as a lot of applications demanded that. And in addition to this, we wanted a real-time display on the device to TPB level accuracy concentration. These are some benefits that we wanted the users to relish. The AQBot also provides all types of connectivity options. We'll be discussing that as we go ahead. And the most excited part that I am, about a specific feature is the inbuilt relay part. So we have something scheduled today to give you a demo, and I'm hoping that we all can gain a lot of insight from that. So to comprise, these are the benefits that put AQBot in the midst of the Industry 4.0 revolution, and we definitely wanted a product to support that. So I think enough said. It's the time has come, and it's the time for the unveiling of the product. So I know Janam did mention that we are all very restricted to in this part, and we are doing this virtual launch. But I hope someday we can do something where we all of us could meet under a roof and we can do a launch again on this. But then it is how it is. So without taking any further moment, I will ask my colleagues who are ready with the product, my colleagues Harsh and Rahul, to give you the first look. So I hope if you all can, join me in this enthusiasm and, count to 3 as I do, so that I can feel, and we all can feel that we are doing it together. You can see my excitement here, sitting here in Ahmedabad, the western part of India. I'm connected to all of you through this medium. So the time has now come, and here we go in the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. And this is the product launch that we were all waiting for. The AQBot is in front of you, the single parameter industrial grade monitor that we have been working for the last 1 year. We are excited to showcase this at this point in front of you. You can see on the front of your in the front of your screen, there's a display, there are units, there are parameters. I'll take you through this one by one, but I hope I could hear the claps that I'm getting on the comment section. Feel free to use that. Show us your excitement. This is really exciting, and it's a morale boosting thing for me to go ahead and see that. So let me take you through the product that as you are seeing right now. This is the robust enclosure that I was talking about. You can see there is a LED segment in your screen. That's what is giving you the data for now. And below it is the parameter, that's total VOC, the total volatile organic compounds. This is the variant that we were discussing. On just beside that are the unit of measurement. So very calculatively and thoughtfully, all these things have been kept in this. We will discuss it one by one as we speak about the feature. And now that I turn the device on the right hand side, you'll find that there is an adapter, that's a SIM card extender basically for your GSM based connectivity option. A nano SIM card gets into the system, and then you can connect your AQBot over GSM. There is a lock latch for anti-theft, and then you have a serial number which gives a unique identification for the AQBot. You see how easily the mounting is done. There are 2 mounting brackets on the bottom and on the top. And this, what you're seeing when you turn the device, you'll find that it's mounted on a pole. And this can easily be then mounted on a pole with the use of these hose clamps on the bottom and on the top. And also, it can be mounted on a wall. If you turn the pole a little, you'll find there are slits given to mount it easily on a surface or a wall. So that was the first look of the AQBot that we were all excited to show you. Please share your instant reactions of seeing the product while I proceed with my presentation and take you through the features of AQBot one by one. So talking about the product here, I'll be talking about the features that we have been discussing and how we can use them to take the benefits that I just got. So starting with a wide range of parameters, that is from gases, from particulate matter, and from noise. To combine it, I'll say there are 14 variants. Yes, you heard me right. We have 14 different variants for these parameters. There is a built-in display to check an on-site concentration and unit of measurement that you just saw, continuous monitoring, and real-time data transfer. I think this is what goes, in tandem with Oizom. We have been using the flagship product for real-time data transfer as well as on-device, software as well. When we talk about the on-device software, we have the data, the analytics, the integration, and the report that you can easily access through the in-house built software. Next one is a built-in relay for automating any external equipment and, of course, giving you a better process control. Now, the real-time alerts can be done through software, and you can use a siren and a strobe, or you can have a buzzer that is already there with each of the offerings. We will go one by one and show you the components in the next part. But before that, on the right side of the screen, you will find there are other features, which I'll just speak one by one. It's a lightweight and a compact, which is a product which is easily installed on any wall or pole or any structure. You just saw how easily the mounting was when we gave the first look of the product. The enclosures are made of it's a NEMA 4X or an IP66 proof enclosure. So that means you can use it in a lot of industrial areas. In those prerequisites are there. The standard output signals, so Modbus, RS485, that is, or CAN bus, all those industrial protocols have been covered. We are also talking about different wireless connectivity options like GSM, Wi-Fi, or LoRa. So these things are also part of the features. A wonderful feature that we have is the network losses. I have been told that my voice is cracking. Let me know in the comments if you are still feeling the same. I'll try to switch to a different connection. Meanwhile, I'll proceed with my presentation. So in the network losses part, there is no loss of any data if there is a loss of connectivity. That means there is an internal storage. We'll talk about this as we go ahead. And of course, the dedicated support team, so which is always there to assist you for any kind of problem solving. To speak about a little bit into detail for the technical specifications, I'm sure you all would be waiting to understand more on this. So AQBot is powered with a quad-core ARM Cortex A72 high-performance processor, which means the device is capable of running multiple processes, just like sensor data collection, device management, database management service, or even network management. All those processes can run in parallel. Now, all this with no error reading, even at a data pull request every second. And 8 GB built eMMC that is tested in industrial temperature with negligible corruption rate is now offered with AQBot. So an internal data storage of 12 months, which ensures there is no loss of data. So in case there is some kind of connectivity issues, the stored data in the memory will be auto-synced with the cloud database once the network is retrieved. So that's the feature that will become very handy to all of you. Power consumption is around 3.5 watts, and we provide a 2-meter length AC power cable with the standard packaging. And these devices are also compatible in terms of communication. They are compatible with fallback 2G, 3G, and 4G networks along with LTE. They also have Wi-Fi and Ethernet capability, and we have a dedicated connector now, which will be used for relay output as well as Modbus. What I'm going to do is take a quick 2 second break and just try to switch my connection. I am getting complaints of network connectivity. Just be with me for a couple of seconds. Janam, if you can just speak of the connectivity options while I switch on my the internet connection. Okay, I got yeah, Janam, it's okay. I think I retrieved. I got a heads up from my team. I'll continue. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, there were connectivity options that I was talking. So yeah, this is the time that what I'm going to do is go back to my colleagues Harsh and Rahul, who are ready with another demo. I'll be stopping my screen, and there it is. Within a second, you'll see the screen, and this is how the bottom view looks like. So what you're seeing right now is the AQBot H2S variant. That's the gas variant. I'm going to talk about what these variants mean. So I'll start from the left. The first thing that you see is the OGS cap, or the Oizom gas sensor cap. Post that is the switch, which is an LED colored switch and has different color values for different applications and has different significance. For example, the cyan reading that you're seeing right now speaks about the connectivity is established and the device is sending data. You just saw, wow, there's the color, as I was explaining, the AQBot just supported me and it showed a pink flash or a magenta flash. That indicates that that's the moment it sends the data to any of the gateways. Then we have the power cable, which is the AC power cable that is connected right now to this AQBot. You can also give a DC power in the C1 connector. So it connects on the C1 cable as well. On the C2 is your 420 milliamp instrumentation, which is a standard instrumentation protocol in a lot of industries, and the device power gives you that. C3 is for your Modbus or your RS485 connectivity option. And the last one, which is my personal favorite kind of, is C4, which has an inbuilt relay connectivity option for automation capabilities. We are going to talk a lot about it in the coming few minutes. But before we proceed, I'm going to go a little on the top and speak about what you're seeing on your screen. The one on the right, where you find the Oizom logo, is your THP sensor, or the temperature, humidity, pressure sensor. It's for your ambient temperature, humidity condition monitoring. Then you have, okay, I'm still getting little complaints of voice breaking. I think what I'm going to do is take a second and discuss it with my team, and we are going.
I mean, this is the exact reason why we have an inbuilt data storage, because internet glitches are always going to be there, and this is the exact reason why I think internal data storage is very, very, very essential. Because even if with all the 4G, all the LTE coming up, if we still have data glitches, imagine the possibilities of having it with a system. And this has been kept into mind. It's such a delight. As I am continuous with the presentation. It's such a delight to see all the appreciation that we have received. Thank you so much, everyone. And I just would like to mention one major thing. I reserved it for the end, but because we have some time in between, either I just jump in and share this news with you. So we are ready to dispatch. I mean, we have 50 units already ready for AQBot. You will see all the capabilities as we speak further, but we are ready to dispatch. So I think we'll be starting pre-orders, but I'll try to keep the suspense of the date when we'll be accepting pre-orders. So at least you have something to stick around until the end. But yes, we have already units ready to dispatch. So I'm super excited for that. And I hope meanwhile, Ayan can jump back in.
Yes. I'm here. I am here. So thanks, Janam, for pitching in. So thank you for the time. I hope I'm audible now. Janam, if you can give me a heads up.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So coming back to what the main focus is, I'm sorry to steal the focus from AQBot. So quickly talking about the buzzer, that is a standard offering from all the products. The buzzer comes handy in case of generating any alerts locally and speaking about any kind of anomalies, and you want to set a threshold-based alert, let's say a noise or particulate matter or an odor, that becomes handy. for in that case. There is also the Ethernet or the RS232 connectivity option at the last. So this was about the AQBot particulate, the gas section. Now coming back to my presentation, I'm going to talk about a little bit in case of the technical specification. Yeah. So next is what I'm talking about was the Oizom gas sensors, right? So we were speaking about what you saw on the left side, which was a gas sensor. So a few seconds of how it works and what is the working principle behind it. So this OGs that you're seeing right now is especially mounted on a custom-made ISB and does have a standard proprietary protocol for data transmission. A few deployments in the field help us to understand the effect of EMF interference on the electronic signals, which eventually affected the reading. The OGS has a standard footprint for plug and play, and enclosure eliminates any kind of EMF interference. The OGS are color coded and easy to identify on the sensor code. This means replacement and simple maintenance. So what I'm going to do is go back to my colleague and talk about little what you are seeing on your screen. So this is the okay. I'm going to give me a second. I think a lot of people are complaining. Just one second.
It's really funny because we tested this like 5 times already. We have had 5 run-throughs, not a single glitch with the internet. And now that we are live, the internet decides to act crazy.
Yeah,
I think
I'm back again, Jairam. So yeah, am I audible now?
yes, and I hope this time it's the final time I am.
Hopefully, I hope so. Yeah, let's see.
Fingers
Yeah, so
crossed.
going back, yeah, so yeah, somebody really said Murphy strikes. Yeah, that's it. Great. Yeah, I mean, this is all fun sometimes from whatever we have been working, but quickly, let's get back to what I was saying. So the OGS now is replaced from on the left side, you can see it's there and it's showing on the duct sensor. So that's the outlet on the left when you see there, and then you see the inlet, right, which is on the right. So that's a standard particulate matter sensor, which is measuring PM1, 2.5, 10, and 100. It's just a different variant when it comes to the gas, and this one becomes your particulate matter sensor. So that's the change that you might see visibly. The third variant that we have is the noise sensor. So this is AQBot noise, a class 2 noise sensor, ideally suited for all these mechanical rotary equipment placed inside a shed with the noise levels going beyond 120, 130 decibels, and you want to monitor and take some actions. This becomes a pretty handy product when it comes to industries. And you see on the left side, you'll find the mic or the sensor placed there, which enables the noise sensing capabilities. So this was about the AQBot and also about the single variant that we were talking about. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll try to share my screen and showcase a little bit about the software, so which will actually help you out to understand what are the key pointers to that. So yeah. So when we spoke about an on-device software, which meant that you can connect to AQBot with your smart device over a specific Wi-Fi, or the AQBot turns into a hotspot and then you can connect to it, right? So that's a feature that we have with all our flagship products, and as well as AQBot when it comes handy into the industrial cases. So if you see on the screen, there are pretty simple modules that are given for easy access. So overview, dashboard, automation, calibration, settings, devices, and user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just play with the software a little and showcase some demonstrations. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. The first thing that I'm going to do is go to the automation module, but I'm thinking that there is I have to change my internet. So you might find a little bit glitch because I'm not connected to the device on the same internet. So give me a couple of seconds and I'm going to show you that. I think it's already connected, so I think we can just skip that part and take you to the relay demonstration. So I'll go back to my colleague who is going to showcase the first portion, that is the buzzer part. So this in front of you is the VOC sensor. What I'm going to do is spray a bit of perfume and spray it on the sensor. So this is going to showcase the this is going to give a threshold trigger. So once the spray is done, we'll wait for the sensing the CVOC sensor to track it and give you the data in the next data point. So this was about the buzzer. We are going to wait for the next data point and going to see that it's going to showcase as in terms of the buzzer. So the buzzer comes as a standard thing with all the products. You can easily configure it from your software. There are also two relays, that is output 1 and output 2. So while you see the buzzer on the screen, I'm going to switch my connection and showcase that as well. So you give me a second. Yeah. So am I audible? Yeah. That's it. That was a great presentation, and it just showed you the capabilities of the alert and the automation capability that we were talking about in terms of the buzzer. Now, quickly, we'll move to another aspect, but I think now I'll be able to share the screen and tell you how to configure that, because we were facing some problems. So the product that we are going to talk about is the TVOC thing. So here is the buzzer setting. I am in the automation module, and this is what I did. I selected buzzer from here. I selected the parameter that I want to do. And then this is a default off. That means nothing will happen in the steady state condition. I selected an interval for 5 seconds. So the buzzer would ring or it would buzz for only 5 seconds. There are values that I had set. Obviously, hopefully we don't find that high values when we speak on the field, but with the use of a room freshener or a fragrance, we could achieve a very high value instantly for the demonstration purpose only. Same manner, I'm going to talk about a little bit on the inbuilt relay capabilities. So now I'm getting a little excited to showcase, because even me and Janam, we both were waiting for you to show this. So what I'm going to do is I give you a little brief of how to do. So you can see on your screen, there's output 1 and output 2. So I'm going to click that and showcase what you need to do to configure this. It's selected as output 1. Lmax is the maximum noise value which you can get. So I have selected that. And the default is off. Same way, interval is kept as 0 seconds. That means that we can go for more than, it will go for the next data point itself. Now, this is what I'm going to set as a value. So on an average, since we all are speaking or there are things happening, I might just set it at 95 decibels for an upper threshold. And similarly, to go it below that, I'm going to do it at, let's say, 90. So what this means is that when the value goes beyond 95, the relay will trigger a third-party equipment. And when the value reaches 90, it will trigger the equipment to turn off. A classic example for this would be a dust scan. Let's say I select a particulate matter sensor and I go with the values for 120 or 150 micrograms per cubic meter, and it should trigger a spray or a water spray or a mist spray. And when it goes below 80 or something, it should switch it off. So that can be one. Another could be something like an odor suppressant. We can use it to suppress the odor when you spray the mist cannon. So there are multiple use cases, but for the demonstration purpose, what I'm going to do is update this for output 1, and I'm going to then take another one as well. We have 2 relays, so we can configure 2 third-party equipment. So I'm going to set the same values here, that is 95 and other one being 90. And I'm just going to give an update to the product. So what will happen is once we can make some noise, we'll see that the noise values or the Lmax value going beyond that. And soon we should get it to trigger our equipment. So before I go to the demo and showcase the capabilities of the AQBot noise sensor, this becomes a very handy tool because a lot of people ask that we had to go for multiple equipment, send the data to some external data logger, and then configure it to a different third-party equipment. So there were multiple channels for that. What we did is we ensured that all these things are under one solution. So we have it under just one equipment. So there it is. We have the device ready. I'll ask Harsh to quickly make clap. I hope we could all have and you could make some noise. So Harsh can clap and showcase. Thank you, Harsh. That was great clapping. I would, if all of you would have been here, this wouldn't have been a problem. So you can see there is output 1, that is the light on the right, and output 2 is the fan. And it's right now switched off. So you see on the right, it's not triggered manually. So this is what is going to trigger the external equipment. They are being given external power for this, but the functioning is from the device itself. The relay is going to trigger once the value goes beyond 95. Unfortunately, this was exactly 95. Harsh, you're not being strong. You need to clap harder, man. Come on, show them the excitement of AQBot. Yeah. I think had it been like all of us together here, I mean, this really wouldn't have been a problem. But let's see, we'll have it at the next data point as we go beyond. Meanwhile, maybe we can have a poll here and take your inputs while we get a trigger value to take from there. And I'll just take a quick water break before I go back and discuss a little more on this. So. Yep, please feel free to share your inputs on this. Wow, I'm seeing some amazing responses on the poll. This is interesting to see. This is going to be such a great insight for us. So that's going to be great. So within the next data point, we are going to showcase how the triggers. But meanwhile, I mean, this is great. So yeah, this is again 95. Is it? Harsh, I think you're not putting in effort. So I think we'll take it back when it's there. I'm going to share my screen again and go back to our thing. Yep.
Let's reduce the decibels and try it once again.
Yeah, I think let's put the screen together as a gallery view and let people see it when it happens. We'll not waste time on that. We're going to talk about the product use cases here, and this is more about how the products work in different applications. It was interesting, really interesting to see your polls and where exactly you are thinking when this can be used. So the first one that we are going to talk about is process control in industry. The ambient air pollution parameters like particulate matter, gases, and noise, they're often caused by various processes in the industry. So measuring these parameters using AQBot not only ensures continuous monitoring, but they also provide automating the operation of pollution control equipment to meet these regulatory standards. So that is what we're trying to showcase in terms of process control. The next use case that I'm talking about is the leak detection. So leakages in industry can cause unfortunate accidents and cause a potential risk to the health of the workers. Continuous monitoring of ambient air in industrial premises ensures in-time anomaly detection like gas leakages or sudden rise of PM, or noise levels or harmful gases. And alerts and alarms generated can assist in immediate action in terms of these cases. So Another use case that we see is a leakage detection in terms of AQBot. The third one is for indoor spaces. AQBot becomes an ideal choice to continuously in an enclosed industrial facility. So often it is important to monitor these parameters to ensure a safe environment. The data is used for various applications, maybe compliance, safety, reporting, data logging, automation, and so on. And the last one is the EHS monitoring. So by continuous monitoring of critical air quality parameters like VOC or hydrogen sulfide or ammonia in industrial work environment, precautionary steps can be taken for health and safety workers to comply with the regulatory acts like maybe OSHA and other such. Additionally, EHS managers can continuously track and mitigate any potential hazards. So this is like an umbrella of the use cases that we have been talking about. Certainly, there could be much more, but this is what comes under a large umbrella. What I'm going to do is now discuss about the variants, single variants one by one, and connect the dots with the use cases that we are talking about. So the first one is AQBot SO2. The sulfur dioxide becomes a key parameter when it comes to industry. The ranges are 0 to 20, 0 to 100, and 0 to 1000. So these are three ranges that are on offer for every parameter. SO2 works on the principle of electrochemical sensing. That we decided to work on that principle. So you may ask why, and the answer to that is since last 5 or 6 years, our R&D team has been working with different working principles, and we have identified this to be a perfect working principle for SO2. Similar manner, all the working principle that you would see from here would have been identified from our team and closed. Now, applications, a couple of them that we have listed, one being a mining industry where extraction is a process which includes blasting and crushing. And of course, thermal power plants, boiler emissions become one key source. At this point, I just want to ensure that people don't get confused with stack monitoring. This is not for stack monitoring. These are for fugitive emissions, and we'll be using it in ambient conditions for that. And we also have some values for reference. So OSHA is one body, there's NIOSH. So they have listed 8-hour time weight average for personal exposure limits. And you'll find for SO2, it's 5 ppm. And for NIOSH, it is 2 ppm, the relative exposure limit. So these things kind of give you a little idea of what is the workplace monitoring or industrial monitoring and how conditions work there, just to give a fair idea. So AQBot SO2 is aimed at these applications. Moving on, we have AQBot NO2 as another another parameter. We have three ranges with similar working principle. The industry that can be targeted would be cement manufacturing in a rotary kiln and vertical shaft kiln. So there are values for OSHA and NIOSH. I'll be sharing this at the end of this presentation, and you will be getting info for where these parameters become target. The next being hydrogen sulfide. So fisheries, one area where there is bacteriological and enzymatic decay. There is leather industry for beam house, unhairing and liming process, so key source. And of course, this is something that is relatable. You know about the sewage treatment plant, inlet chamber and anaerobic conditions. These are going to create a lot of nuisance for hydrogen sulfide, and definitely we can go and measure as a single parameter. Carbon monoxide, of course, thermal power plants and cement manufacturing industry with kiln in clinker processes. So we know the dangers that are there with carbon monoxide. Here we also have three ranges. This is 0 to 20, 0 to 100, and 1000. The working principle stays as electrochemicals in this as well. AQBot NO is the next variant. Another industry that gets added is the textile industry. So the sizing process is a definite source of NO and can be targeted for continuous monitoring as a single parameter in that area. Yes, TVOC, the total volatile organic compounds as a whole, it comes in a lot of industries, but to list a few, paper and pulp industry, where chemical pulping, bleaching and evaporator, the fisheries, the textile industry. These are all key areas for TVOS monitoring. If you notice the range and the working principle changes here, it's photoionization detection, that is PID. So that is where total volatile organic compounds get detected. AQBot CL2 comes as a odor monitoring variant. So leather industry, food and beverages, yes, because a lot of disinfection happens there. So definitely chlorine becomes a key area for monitoring. And in the bleaching process of the textile industry, AQBot chlorine becomes a key variant to put. Ammonia, anything rotting up, anything, whether it's live feedstock or fisheries or dairy manure, all those areas we have been dealing with a few clients where they want to put ammonia in those similar areas and get value for this. So that becomes a variant for these applications. Next is methane. Yes, meat processing, slaughterhouses, dairies, mining industry. These are all key areas where methane has been identified as a key source of pollutant, and AQBot methane becomes a definite addition to such areas. So this works on the principle of NDIR and not on the ones that we were discussing upon, and becomes a key element to measure in terms of in the industry. Formaldehyde becomes another key variant. So textile industry, where there is a resin finish and a heat setting in the synthetic fabrics area. So formaldehyde becomes another variant to go for with the working principle of electrochemical sensing. Next is AQBot CO2, thermal power plants. There is food and beverage industry, and there's also cement industry where CO2 becomes a key element of monitoring. The working principle here goes to NDIR. Methyl mercaptan, a lot of sludge storages and anaerobic digestion in the wastewater treatment plants. Generation of methyl mercaptan becomes a key there. So it's a key parameter to apply there. Paper and pulp industry, where there's digester or a black liquor storage or even a recovery boiler. And it's similar to methane. In meat processing plants, we have as a byproduct or storage, or in the ETP, where methyl mercaptan comes into the consideration. AQBot PM, that's particulate matter, ranging from 1, 2.5, 10, or 100, which the user can choose and select, becomes a key deployment at cement industry. So we all know about the ash handling system and how much the particulate matter could be a problem. Mining industry, where drilling, blasting, and transportation happen, and it becomes a source of particulate matter in the suspended in the air. And the textile industry for cotton handling processes. This all becomes a particulate matter source of particulate matter. The working principle here is laser scattering, so which is a very established and a validated working principle for measuring particulate matter. And the last one is AQBot noise. The working principle here is capacitance. Any industry, any area that you can think of becomes a key source for monitoring noise. The mechanical rotary equipment that are there, these all become a key source for monitoring with the help of AQBot noise. This takes me to the demo that we were trying to plan for the noise. I'm going to try one more time and reduce the voice. My colleague cannot produce more noise, so I can't help it. What I'm going to do is give you another demo and show at 90 decibels, lower it a little, and put this at 85. So I'm going to update this at this point on output 1, and I'm going to do the same for output 2. So I'm glad that we finish on AQBot noise. So this becomes a good connection for giving you a demo for AQBot noise and the application that we were thinking. You can connect it to whatever user application that you want. So this is the software module that I was talking about. There is also a calibration module, settings, devices, and user. These are multiple modules that becomes handy when you connect it to the device. Let me stop my screen sharing and go back to my colleagues Harsh and Rahul. Harsh, this time let's put in some power and get some noise, maybe clap a little more and make this demo a little successful. Come on, Harsh, give it your best. That's great. That's great. That's a lot of energy. I hope this goes beyond the 90 and we can show the demo what we are. Well, obviously, this is something that looks something like a school experiment and we are doing, and it takes me back to my old physics laboratory days where we used to do a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I never knew this could be something that I would be doing to show a demo. This is a very simplistic manner of showing the capabilities of relay. We have been doing it on the field, in the parliament of this is the new one coming up here. We have deployed destroyed standard. Oh wow, that's there. I mean, this is what I just wanted to show: the output one and output two coming up at 93 decibels, and we finally have the most exciting part that I wanted to show being successful here. So just you can see what's happening here. You just need to imagine this as a product, and then the depth scan or mist scan with it. When the decibel value goes up, you can see that it's gone. Now we are going to keep a little calm and see that the values go below 90 dBs and below 85 that I said, and we can then have the relay triggering it to off. So this is the inbuilt relay capabilities that comprises in all of the AQBot. It comes in within the product itself, and you can use it for various purposes. So at the moment when it goes down, I'm going to switch back. But oh yes, there it is. I mean, 77 dB, and my point is proven. I'm so happy at this point. I was very, thinking that whether it will work, but yes, it's there. So this is the classic use case for using the AQBot for automation and alert capabilities. I'll go back to my presentation now and continue with the next part, which is very important, the calibration part. As Jenna mentioned, I think in his introduction, accuracy becomes a key for a lot of monitoring applications. And if we do not have that, it's better not to even have it. So what's the point? So this was a key thing for us when we discussed how we can improve accuracy of all our flagship products. We had a joint venture with Atira. You saw the calibration, and we could, calibration facility and what we all have. So what I'm going to show here is the multiple stages of calibration of AQBot. The first one being a factory calibration, so where it's done at the sensor manufacturing part. They just do bump tests to ensure that whether the sensors are functioning. Second part, which you see here, is the laboratory calibration. Let me just go a little deep into this. The assembled AQBot devices are calibrated with pure air and NIST traceable calibration gases. Now, in a clean and controlled laboratory setting, the zero and span calibrations are performed in order to determine the sensor offset and any gain error if required. This is about the gaseous sensors. The particulate matter sensors are co-located against a reference system that is a MET1 BAM 1020. It's a globally accepted gold standard for particulate matter measurement. Every AQBot is dispatched with a calibration certificate by an Enable or an ISO IEC 17025 accredited laboratory. So this is the part where laboratory calibration is done. There's a pre-check, there's a post-check, and then we take the devices out of the facility. But what would you do if you have to do it on site, maybe 6 months or a year down the line? So the calibration software, or the software has a calibration module, I should rather put it that way, allows you to connect to any smart devices, which I was just showing you on my screen, use a zero air cylinder or a generator, and then AQBot can be calibrated without the need to even deinstalling the unit from the premises, or maybe even sending it back to us. We don't need that. You can do it there. I mean, just take a handy cylinder of 1 liter or so and take a smart device and perform the entire calibration over there. The on-device data visualization software will help you through how to do that. So let me just show the module first, and then show you what are the things that are included into that. So this is the calibration module that I was talking about. I'm going to show it in the gas one. Yeah, yes, yes. Yeah. So all you need to do is create a new calibration entry. You can select the name, the devices. So I'm just putting test here and the devices that I have, the location. I'm in Ahmedabad. You can put it your location, the initials of the operator, and what calibration you want to perform. I submit it, and then you fill up the information for performing the calibration. Soon you'll find the data graph being generated, and you can validate and apply any corrections if required. I'm not going to do that at this point, but yes, I have something to showcase. I'm going back to my colleague who's ready with a little demo of what is in offer with the packaging. So you will see on your screen that this is the gas sensor that we were talking, and there is a cylinder which is ready with the tube. Now we have a calibration hood with every package that is dispatched from, and this is what it looks like on your screen. Harsh, if you can rotate it a little and show our viewers how it looks. Yeah, so it's very easy to replace the current OGS cap and then put this on it. So as quickly as it's been shown on the video here, this is how you can do it on the field. So once it is done, and once you connect the device to our any smart device, you can then perform site calibration on the field. There are the connectors, the blue ones that you see, and the gas cylinder is then the tube from the cylinder is connected to it, and you just need to turn on the regulator, which is somewhere around 0.5 liters per minute. So once you do that, the zero air is passed and then you can perform. So this was about the calibration of the devices on the field, and we'll just have a quick poll of what, while I switch my screen, you will feel free to just add your inputs on this and let us know what you feel about the Thank you for your responses. This is great. I'm loving this audience that we have who are just very proactive and helping us with the responses. This means a lot, guys. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So let's continue with our a few more slides for our presentation. The operation maintenance or the support. Obviously, it's an equipment, and you would ask how it's done. The product is very easy to maintain. Periodic cleaning, maybe every quarter, but obviously it depends on where you are. If it's very dusty or there's some dust deposition, you might need to do it at a higher frequency. And once you do that, the sensing is not affected. The spot calibration may be done every 6 months. Even that depends on the environment that it is, and we can definitely discuss with our support team and they'll guide you better. There are certain consumable parts like the dust sensors and the gas sensors, which need to be replaced at regular intervals depending on the environmental conditions. However, in case our remote support team is always available for troubleshooting, the system will also generate alerts, and it will be sent to our team, who can then guide the local technicians to make any certain kind of changes. So this is all about the support or the operational maintenance of the product of AQBot. Okay. The next one is about the system architecture, which I believe is pretty important to a lot of users or viewers who are with us right now. The solution which is offered, it may look simple, but there is a complex system that works behind it. So this environmental IoT structure is modular enough to work out a suitable solution as per whatever is the requirement. Now, let me just take you through one by one. In case of say GSM, Wi-Fi, or Ethernet, the data is directly sent to the Oizom IoT gateway service. Obviously, there is EDI, which is a nickname that we have put for our environmental data interpretation engine. So all the processes that I mentioned earlier happens inside the product, and then the data is pushed to the gateway. In cases of local area network like LoRa or Sigfox, the device sends to the it sends to the third-party gateways and pushes it to the Oizom IoT service via data collector APIs. This data is then whatever is taken into account from the lab calibration and machine learning all happens in the eddy, and then this is the process that I just explained. After processing the data, it is further pushed to the data viewing platform. So in our case, it's Envisom, which is going to be the next one that I'm going to explain. If it's a third-party app which are using APIs, you can then configure it and use multiple modules according to your needs. To give you a little more about the software, I'll be speaking about in the upcoming slide. But if you do not want the Envisom software, there are several options where the data can be accessed. So Oizom provides APIs for integration with customers' application, and it can be pushed through TVs or LEDs or mobile apps. All those possibilities are there. Now, to talk a little about the view of our the Envisom software. So I'll just speak one by one about the modules that you see and how easily it is made for the customer's point of view. The first one here is, you can see my mouse pointer, it's the overview module, which is a bird eye view and gives you the number of devices that are there under your login. The next one is dashboard view, which is more like widgets, helps you understand real-time data or generate trends for your product. The third one is a cluster module, where there are multiple devices in a city or so, and you can then access it and generate averages for that. The next one is the analytics. So you don't have to download the data and put it on an Excel sheet or a Google spreadsheet. It's all here. Right? You can just use it, compare to devices, compare to parameters. All those things are there. The one that you're seeing here is a display module. You can, customize displays are there. There's an iframe code. You can put it on a TV or any kind of screen and then showcase it for your industrial entry points or even main industrial shed. The next module is alert module. So similar to what I was explaining with the threshold values, you can put there, you can send SMSs or emails to your managers, your safety supervisors, and they can take necessary actions accordingly. Next is a report module. So usually what we found that a lot of compliances, a lot of reporting is needed on a day-to-day basis. And this software module definitely solves all those requirements. So you can put up email IDs of specific stakeholders, and they can get daily, weekly, or monthly reports, which are in the form of a PDF. So you don't have to do that at your end. It's already there, and you can then view it. The next one is the complaint APIs. So it's for urban monitoring or city monitoring areas. And the last module is the user module. So you can create sub-users under your login and restrict access to specific modules. You can change the air quality index if you have, like, for a flagship product like Pollute or Destroy, where you want to use for different applications. So this was about the software that we have, which can be logged in from any web browser. And some of the components are there when you connect it to the device, the 5-6 modules that I was showing, whereas the entire packet with different modules can be accessed through any web browser. That was about Envisom. So yes, this brings us to the end of what I wanted to share, but definitely there is a lot to do. This is just a beginning, I would say. We have several developments lined up. The R&D team is working day and night to come up with innovations and support our vision and mission. And all I want to say is that for us, the sky is the limit. We believe in this and we work towards to this every day. So if you can just help us understand a little bit, we have a quick poll before I go ahead. Thank you for joining in today and giving your valuable time. We'll be taking some question answers over here, and we'll take it and discuss what all inputs you have. While I do that, I also want to mention that if you are from a global country or your global audience, feel free to speak to our global account manager, Janam. He'll help you out with your queries, or if you need some quotes, you can do that. For India, we have Samarpit and Kinjal. The contact details are on your screen, and feel free to take a screenshot, and you can contact them and get to know more about the product. If I missed something, or if you want to know anything else that you think this is not covered, feel free to speak to them. But yes, this is also a time to announce a surprise. I hope you liked the entire presentation, the technical part, but now I would ask my colleague Jainam to come on board and take it from here and announce the surprise that we had been talking about. So over to you, Jainam. Please go ahead.
So, this just reminds me of, the whole Tesla launch, where we are waiting and waiting until the final end. So I think one major thing that I wanted to share with all our partners across is that this time we have 50 units ready, as I mentioned already, and some of the most notorious and the most key parameters, we can dispatch them within 2 weeks. So this includes particulate matter, so PM1, 2.5, PM10, and PM100 in one variant, AQBot noise, AQBot H2S, AQBot NH3, and AQBot CO. All of this can be available in just 2 weeks from the date of orders. We just calibrate it and ship it to you. We have the units ready with us. We're starting pre-orders from the 20th of February. Yes, 20th of February. So 5 days from now, you can start placing your orders, and we will have them shipped. We'll just calibrate it and ship it across in just 2 weeks. So yes, 20th of February is when we start accepting pre-orders. Before that, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to address them. Meanwhile, for everyone who's been asking this time and again, we already have this recording live on YouTube. And in addition to that, tomorrow you will be receiving an email with the updated data sheets as well as the necessary brochures for AQBot. So you can have that. And all who are registered as partners at Oizom, you'll also be receiving a price list from your assigned account manager, who will be sending it to you immediately. So yes, with that, I think maybe we can have one final word from our CEO. I don't know if Ankit is there. Ayan, maybe you want to bring in Ankit to say the final word.
Yes, he is on his way. But before that, I think a few questions need to be answered.
Yes, I think meanwhile Ankit will join us.
Yeah, he is coming with some more surprise. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, let's wait for him. And while we are there, let me take some questions. Yeah. Okay. So the first one that I see is which is your closest competitor? Okay, that's very nice coming from Sunil Rathi. Hi Sunil, I hope you're doing well. Well, there are many players in the market that you would find, but to be very honest, I don't think that all of these capabilities that we have put up can be put in one specific product. So I guess we as a individual player have a lot of USPs that have come across to speak about. So I think that is one thing. I have a set of questions that are coming up, which I'm going to take one by one and help you out and see if I can also take in Sohil on the panel. So if my coordinator can just put Sohil in the panelist list, that would be great. The first question has, every unit has a calibration certificate under ISO 17025. Yes, absolutely. So ISO 17025 is for the laboratory, and what we are doing is actually putting our product under that laboratory and doing all the calibrations there. So thanks Juan Rodriguez for asking that question. The next question I have is from Peter Fleming. Are you able to do a field calibration in the field? Is air pumped to the sensor? Well, if you use a regulator with a defined flow of, let's say, 0.5 liter per minute, that is good to go. So you can have a restricted flow, and then it can be put in the gas hood that we just showed. I don't know if the question is before the demonstration or after. If I'm not answered your question, please feel free to contact and get some more info on that. Are you measuring a VOC with a PID, or is it a solid state sensor? No, it is a PID thing. I think this also we mentioned in the presentation. And the next question is from Camellia. As the product is AQBot supposed to be monitoring a single, is the system designed to operate directly at sources? Does it have any mechanisms or technology to withstand high temperature or high humidity? Excellent question, Camellia. To answer it one by one, yes, AQBot is designed to monitor a single parameter, but we are giving a temperature, humidity as a standard offering in all the AQBots. So you don't have to worry about a temperature or humidity reading, because a lot of temperature compensation happens when you have the correct data for that particular area. You can put directly at the sources. I think that is a key insight, or that is the key purpose of coming up with AQBot. Definitely, it can be deployed in those sources to technology withstand high. Yes, so we have tested these enclosures in high temperatures, and even not only just high, also in very low temperatures. So it can withstand all the high temperature and humidity. Next question is from Sabir I am sorry if I'm not able to pronounce it. Please pardon me. Is the AQBot ATIC certified? So we are already in the process of getting it certified, but for now, you can use it in your Zone 1 and Zone 2 application. So we'll be coming up with it in a few months of time, because that takes a long process, and we have already we have started doing that. So hopefully soon we'll have another webinar, and we might be hosting or telling you about that. What is the sensor between Ethernet and PHP? That is from Taimur. So Taimur, this is not a sensor. This is a buzzer. It's what I think you saw in the demo, which gives color, a color and a noise. If we can just show it one more time, I'm not sure if the product can be shown. I'll be happy to show you. So that is not a sensor. Yeah, I have it on my screen in a matter of 1 second. You'll be able to see it. And there it is. So the sensor that my friend is pointing is not actually a sensor. It's the buzzer, which can be operated from the module, and you can use it. Yeah, Taimur has already said it. He got it. Thanks, Taimur. I hope I answered. Can AQBot be a Modbus master to collect other normal data from sensor network? This, I think I'm not sure about this. Let me just check with Sohil and ask him to answer this. Sohil, if you are here, the question is that can AQBot be a Modbus master to collect other environment data from sensor network?
So for now, we are using AQBot as a client to give the data which is there, which we are generating from the sensors. But definitely, if someone have a specific requirement, the same device can act as a master also, but we haven't tested it yet. So we need to test it if some requirement comes up.
Thank you, Sohil. So I think to comprise what he's saying is it can. There is a potential. We can do it. Let's speak it. Let's take it offline and discuss once we can, if you have a specific requirement. IP rating, the device works on NB-IoT, and how sensitive is the device in like 5 years? How many replacement I need to count? So I think IP rating I already said. NB-IoT possibilities are there. So as I said, the sensors are the consumables, and you can discuss it with what specific sensor you want. Everyone has a definite period. We'll share the brochure and the data sheet for your easy understanding. So how it will integrate with IEEE application? Oh, that's pretty easy. I mean, we have done multiple smart city projects where we have done this on and off. I think more than 7 or 8 of them are on IEEE out of the 13 or 14 smart cities that we are present across the globe. You can just speak to our account manager. They'll connect you with our integration team. You can do it very easily. I mean, that's not a problem at all. We have integrations with all the smart city players. Next is, does AQBot support solar power integration with internal battery? So to answer this, no, we don't have an internal battery in AQBot. But if you want to operate it on a solar power, you'll have to put an external solar panel and battery and then connect it to Timer. So that can be done easily, but the product does not have any battery for now. But I'm not discouraging any further developments, and you might see something coming up with a battery or so that's it. Next question is for sound level measurements, will be type 1 system? No, I think I just mentioned it's a type 2 system. So for a noise sensor, that is what we are offering at this point. Graham, I hope I answered your question. The next question is, what is the standard response time to any input? It seems fairly slow. Well, Sunil, it's the the application that matters. So we say that the T90 is less than 60 seconds, and you just saw, because that's where the device needs to be put. If you have any response time which is even lower than that, please discuss it. We'll be happy to help you. If you have any specific application where you need that, please let us know. Is the AQBot to be used in conjunction with Polytron and Destroyed or as an alternative? I think this is a fantastic question by Brian. So, Brian, to answer this, it depends on the application and the number of parameters that you want to work upon. If you have requirement of multi parameters and is an ambient monitoring or city monitoring project, definitely you should go for Destroyed. If it's a mining area, you can go with the first one is Polytron. I just missed. And if it's a mining area or you have a dust monitoring application, you should go for Destroyed. AQBot becomes an application where you are focused on a single parameter, and you focus on some industrial use cases to be very precise. So if the combinations work on, I think that becomes a classic area for AQBot deployment. Let me know if I answered your question or you want to discuss in detail. We can take this even offline. Next is what are the gases and pollutants sensor available for AQBot? I think I just mentioned the entire variant list. We'll share the brochure and you can go ahead. There are 14 variants for now, and we'll be adding in the future as well. I think Peter, I'm sorry it took time to sense that. I think it was a glitch. Maybe we can arrange a separate demo session for you, and you can then understand the response time of the sensors. We just could not generate that sound. So, how many parameters can a single AQBot measure? And it looks like you have only one space per sensor, so you cannot measure PM and NF at the same time. Okay, so Peter Fleming, I think you are joining us for the first time and you're not aware about our other flagship product. Feel free to visit our website or contact any of us and write to us. Our flagship products, which have Polytron, Destroyed, Odosense, are multi-parameter system. This specific AQBot is a single parameter, which is only focusing on one aspect. So you'll find many devices or many products which will help you solve for multi-parameter things. So you can check it. Do you have a presentation on ambient AQBot instrument which you have? Yes, we do have. I think we'll discuss on with this. You can come contact our account manager and they'll help you out. Please send your technical team contact to know more about the integration process and software setup. Definitely, Shuhaib, I think Janam is the right point of contact, and he'll help you out to get in touch with our the technical team. I think this is the questions that we have, and okay, I'll check for some more questions that I have here. Okay. Any ideas on the cost? I think Janam, if you want to just discuss how we want to go forward with this and what's the next step for people.
So I think when it comes to pricing, your respective account managers will be reaching out to you with the price list already shared with you. If you are a customer, we will be happy to connect you with our partners in that specific region and territory, and they'll be able to help you out with an entire solution, not just the hardware, but offering a comprehensive solution. So for all our partners, we will be sharing with you the price list very soon. And for all the customers, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to make an introduction with our prospective partners in different regions, and they'll be happy to take this forward.
Thank you, Janam. I have a few more questions before we wrap up for the day. Okay, is that okay? Since AQBot can only have one gas or particle sensor, will Oizom consider the possibility to have an AQBot master and AQBot slave where you can mount other gas particle sensors? So I think again, we have a standard product where we can give you other gases or other sensors. We can go for around 9 gases in addition to particulate matter, temperature, humidity, add wind, rain. All those possibilities are there in our standard offering so far. So Polytron, Odosense, Weathercom, and Destroyed are the flagship products that we have been deploying in more than 1,000 locations so far. So feel free to just visit our website once, and I think I'll ask my colleague to share the website link on the chat window, and you can easily check the website there. Is there any threshold limit for particular matter? Yes, the ranges are given for all the sensors, and you can select which one to go for. Dispersion modeling is possible now with the new launch AQBot if you want to use for order monitoring. Absolutely. Thank you, Vijay, for asking this. We have the capabilities for that. We have types with other agencies where we can go and go
Maybe
forward with dispersion
Ayan, I
modeling.
just
Yes,
make a stop here. I'll
sure,
just
sure.
jump in here. So I think we have Camellia already from our partner who is already a part of the panel.
Yeah.
So Camellia represents AlphaSense, who are our partners for modeling. So if you want to do dispersion modeling, flow modeling, we are more than happy to do it. And please reach out to me. I'll introduce you to Camellia, who leads the sales at AlphaSense. They're based out of Germany, and she'll be more than happy to assist you.
So I think Janam, we are done with the Q&A. Maybe you can introduce Ankit while I switch off my video. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time. This is me signing off. Janam, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, for staying and sticking with us. I think it was amazing to see such a great response and, of course, so many questions. I'm very certain you're going to have many more questions when you go back tonight and think about it. Please feel free to reach out to me, Samarpit, or Kinjal for any questions. And thank you so much once again. I just like to invite maybe Ankit for the closing remarks. Ankit is the CEO. Ankit, if you can just come on screen, say hi to all our partners and customers, and share your final words as we close for the closing remarks. I think your voice is cracking, Ankit, for some reason. Just a second. We can't hear you, Ankit. Ankit, your voice is not audible. You probably need to mute and unmute yourself.
Yeah, is it audible?
Yep, amazing, perfect.
Perfect. So yeah, I would like to thank everyone for staying with us for the entire time of 90 minutes. It's really great to see more than 200 people stayed with us for the entire time of 90 minutes. And we got amazing response. And thank you so much for making this event a success. I would like to congratulate the entire Oizom team for planning this event in this tough time virtually. I can see the way everyone managed to give you the demonstration, give all the live demos. It's really commendable. And with this product launch, I can see that the way the product AQBot was envisioned, it is soon going to be a reality. Thanks to our partners who have always given us the constant feedback to make this product as per the market requirement. And I'm sure once going forward, they are also going to come up with some novel use cases, which will further make the product's usability and extend it to the fullest and making it as versatile as possible. And from our side, Jainam, Samarpit, and Kinjal would be always happy to help you, assist you to make AQBot a real success. So with this note, I would call this an official closure for this launch. And as Jainam said, this product is going to be available very soon. Happy to call us, happy to contact us. We would be more than happy to make it a success. Thank you so much.
And a final shout out to all our international partners who, despite of the time zones, managed to stay with us throughout the presentation. I know it's either super early for you or very late for you. So thank you once again, everyone. And with this, I close. Thank you so much, everyone.